Hare Krishna, yes.
Oh, for Kirtan, okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Hare. Is it okay or should I continue?
You continue 1 minute. Thanks. Lovely voice. Let me enjoy some more time.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I've got lots of you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you so much. Very lovely Kirtan, and thanks Prabhu for sharing. I'll start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnanadhamrandasya Jnananjala Chalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Maya Dadati Swapadatikam. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopeshu Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurani Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Asyatade Satarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vachadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Come on everybody. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Come on everyone, mute and join. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we are going to continue or rather conclude this chapter. I will be the speaker for the day. And sorry for the last moment change from afternoon to morning because Pran Chaitanya Prabhu had called and told that he won't be able to make it in the afternoon. So, and some of them had requested for the morning class as well. So we thought we will continue the routine. So what is the chapter 4 of Canto 2 called? What is the name of the chapter? I think it's almost 1 month we've been on this chapter.
Cosmic creation.
Yeah, process of creation, right? So typically, how do we go about? So Sutta, from the first 4 verses, Sutta describes what actually happens. Then it's Parikshit's questions, and then Sukha actually is going to offer prayers to the Lord. So what first Parikshit does, he focuses, he concentrates his mind on Krishna and detaches himself. Why these 2 points have been mentioned is because when detaching alone does not lead to bhakti, right? Both, so Gita Jayanti is down the road and it's already started that entire month. So if we actually see, there are 2 things which is 2 chapters in Bhagavad Gita which is very important. What is that? Now we're going to take a little detour to BG, Bhagavad Gita. What are the 2, which are the 2 chapters? Of course, all chapters are important, but specifically, which are the very, very important chapters of Bhakti?
9 and 9.
9, very nice. And
9
and
2 and 18.
18. Yes.
so that is the final conclusion.
Final
Nine-
conclusion.
9 and 12.
9 is
9 and 12 are considered as the most important chapters within the scope of Bhakti Yoga. In fact, our verses which we are going to see will be covering a few of links to this, which is why I'm taking. Now, now, Hare Krishna, is my voice audible to everyone? So let's keep it interactive. We all have got Bhakti Shastri degree and we are here. Why are we called Bhakti Shastri certified students? Why is the degree called Bhakti Shastri? I'm going to keep this question for the fast track. Why is it called? Why are we called, or why are we certified as Bhakti Shastri certificate? Why is the course called Bhakti Shastri? Is my voice audible?
Mataji,
Yeah.
we are all pursuing the path of bhakti, trying to pursue the path of bhakti.
That is very nice. We are all pursuing the path of Bhakti. But why specifically it's called Bhakti Shastri?
It is giving us the knowledge on how to pursue that path.
Okay, I'll give you one clue. You're close. So now, all those who are taken initiation, I'll use a word in Sanskrit. We are called Dikshit. Right? Initiated is English word. It is called Dikshit, which means Diksha you're taking, so you're called Dikshit. So now can you relate why Bhakti Shastri? So the Bhagavad Gita.
Hare Krishna Mataji, because we are studying the Shastra.
Very
That's
close. Perfect. We are studying the Shastra. Brilliant. Who said that? Yes.
yeah, Mamta.
Mamta, very good. Mamta Mataji, very nice. So basically, what both of you told is right. You just have to connect. Usha Mataji said because Bhakti and you're telling Shastra. That is what. So Shastra, Bhakti Shastri, this is what we think. But actually, Bhagavad Gita has one more name called Bhakti Shastra. Because Bhagavad Gita is also having that name, our certificate, which talks about Bhakti and that particular Shastra we are learning, we are called Bhakti Shastris. Like how I said, na, Diksha, we are taking Dikshit. Bhakti Shastra, we are reading. That is why we are called Bhakti Shastri. Right? So that is what it is. Just one second. Ma'am, class is there, please don't. I just, sure. Sorry. So this is what it is, right? And now the second point which we are talking about, so this is the start of. Now why detachment is because if you actually see entirely, if you're only focusing on jnana, I think this will be very beautifully explained in Bhagavad Gita 12 chapter. The first thing which he talks about is Arjuna goes and asks, I'm after seeing the Vichva Rupa and all that. 10th chapter is, our theory class. 11th chapter is visuals. Now 12th chapter he says, boss, now you tell me, should I focus on Brahma Jyoti or should I focus on the form? Krishna says, focus on the form because that's easier, right? Klesho dikadaras teshan avyakta chakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir dukam deha vadbir avapyasi. Very nice. I will follow your path. I will follow and take the form. Okay. So then he says, okay, I'm following the path. So we've all decided, let's say in this class, we are all very clear that we will follow only the form. So there is no doubt on that. Is there a doubt on that? Now I'm going to ask, what is Krishna? The one who has a form, or is he formless?
One who has the form.
Right? So we are very clear. Now we are very clear because we have done everything, right? All Bhakti Shastrites. So we have read there, Krishna has form. Isha Upanishad also they say, Hiranmayena Patrena Satyasya Pilita Muham Tashvan Kushan Apavanyu Satya Drishtaya, Satya Dharmaya Drishtaya. So basically remove the covering. I want to see, right? So everything is same way Pushan Ekar say Yamasurya Prajapatya, you are asmin Samoda Teja. I don't want the Tejas. Everything, please give me your face. I want to see your beautiful face. Form is clear. How should we worship Krishna? All of us are worshipping Krishna. How? We will again tell theory class. We'll do Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll do the spine. But how long we should? How many hours we should do? How you tell me? How long in a day we should actually focus on Krishna?
All the time, Mataji.
Very
All
nice,
the
right? That's what Bhagavad Gita 9 chapter 6. Ananya Chintayantoma Yejana Par. So you Ananya Cheta Sakatam Yoma Bhavati Nichate Sachalam Sulabam Patya Nitya Yuktase Yoina. It's very difficult means no, it is very easy. Everywhere it is trying to cover that. And Krishna says, for such a Ananya Bhag, whoever is thinking of me throughout, even if they make a mistake, I'll take care. Api Sechu Duracharya Bhajatam Mam Ananya Bhag. Shatureva Samantavyam Samyak Vivasitosya. Ananya Bhag, if he is doing throughout, don't worry, I will take care. So that is the definition of pure devotional service which Krishna is giving. Therefore, what he says very clearly, he says that everywhere, right? Machita Matkata Pranam, Bodhayantas Parasparam, Kadayantas Chamam Nityam, Tushkanti Charamantita. They always derive pleasure talking about me everything. Therefore, coming back to the 12th chapter, he says very clearly all the time, you will tell Achacho, what are you telling Krishna? It is very nice for you to tell. But practically, we are not even close to, Ananya Bhakti. We just can't do this because 24/7. Now, if I tell that I'm going to take 2 hours class, most of us have our videos off. On that, even if we keep our video on and we extend by 2 more hours, what will tell man? We have to go and cook, right? It's not that easy because my husband is waiting already 2 hours on Sunday. Is like a big favor they are doing to us. And I am in turn doing a very big favor to Krishna. I'm not telling we have that bhav, but at least we are finding a lot of challenges to accommodate that thought, right? So Krishna is telling, okay, I understand. Whatever I am talking about is basically Mayeva Mana Adasya, Mayi Buddhim Nivashdati, Nivashishyasya Mayeva Ata Urdvam Asamshayah. Put your mind, intelligence on me. If you can't do, then what should I do? You tell Krishna, just not possible. Huh? What are you telling? 24/7. If I think of you, I have a child. Okay, I am a follower of you. I am a Veda follower, which is why I am strictly following the 2nd chapter. I'm very elevated. I follow Karmanevadhikarasya Mahapaleshu Kadachana. So Krishna is telling, hold on, don't go to that. So what you should do, I will give you one more option. You can follow regulatory principles. How many are there? Regulatory principles. Sadhana Bhakti. How many regulatory principles are there?
4, Mataji.
The 4 is what we practice, but largely what we have are 64 regulatory principles which are explained in Electron Ocean. Atachittam samadhatum mam na saknosi maistiram abhyasa yogene tatam ma vichaptum dhananjaya. Automatically you will come to me by even following the regulatory principles. We are telling Krishna, you told 4, that itself I'm finding it difficult. Now you keep on adding these regulatory principles, very difficult to follow that too. So then what can I do? He says, no problem, in which case work for me, right? Which is Nishkama Karma. So therefore, if you do that, so what he's telling, Abhyasopi Asamartosi, Mat Karma Paramo Bhava, Madartam Kur Api Karmani Kurvam Siddhi Avapsasi. So basically, if you can't follow the regulatory principles, also work for me, is telling. Now, these 3 are guaranteed path to go to Krishna, right? So this is confirmed. But the other 3, which is what we are going to talk about in the next few verses of Bhagavad Gita, yes, he says, than that, what you can do is better options. There are 3 more. Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Now, compared to the 3, which is going to be the slow route, right? Which is better compared to the three. I'm not taking Bhakti Yoga. Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. Dhyana Yoga is basically Ashtanga Yoga. So of the three, which is better?
Karma Yoga. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita.
Very nice. So Karma Yoga. So he says, at least do Karma Yoga, that is better. Because you at least can't work for me. You at least give the, outcome of the work, the results of the work. What is that called? If you give the results of the work, it is called what?
Nishkama.
Nishkama will be the
Nishkama.
Nishkama is you give the entire work for me. If I give results, we will mostly not give 100% results. We do things of our choice. You're quite right. How we have studied, what we have read, and our understanding is the moment we give the results completely, it becomes Nishkama because without any desire. But most of the time, there is always a personal interest. When we are doing karma, there is an inherent interest for us. So what happens is from here, it becomes Sakama.
Sakam.
It touches the root of Sakama. And the next, after Sakama, that is karma, between dhyana and the jnana, which is better?
Jnana is better.
Jnana, brother.
What does Krishna say?
Out of
What
four,
does Krishna say?
the fourth.
Arjuna says dhyana is difficult. Yeah.
Yeah. So the 6th chapter, Arjuna says dhyana is difficult. Krishna
Dhyana
is
is
telling
difficult.
dhyana is, yeah.
Yeah, if
But-
you practice, then it is easy. That's what he says. But
So
then,
that is basically, yeah. So he's just motivating him. But
Yes.
between karma yoga and these two, we have shortlisted that karma yoga is better than dhyana and jnana, right?
Yeah.
Though between dhyana and jnana, which is better?
Jnana is better.
Jnana, because even there
Yeah.
Krishna says, among all the four people who are come to me, I like the one with Jnana. I think it was
Jnana.
4.6 point.
Yeah, so
No.
that is no, that is not 4 Prabhu, that is 7th chapter. I mean, if I may,
Seventh chapter.
you're talking about
Yeah.
Artha, Jignashu, Arthati,
Yeah,
Jnani.
Jagna, yes. And then the following sloka, he says very clearly, of all these people, I like the one with Jnana.
Okay.
Right?
Now there is a small difference in your reading and quoting is perfect, and I think Danish ma'am also added to it. Dhyana. So where there's a difference between both of you is the chapter which you are talking about in the 7th chapter. The dhyana which Krishna is talking about is basically jnana, not dhyana, sorry, jnana, that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He's not an Ananya Bhakta. He knows very clearly he is the supreme personality of Godhead. Awe and reverence is already there. He has taken Krishna as the top person. It is talking about Bhakti Jnana, which means Jnana Mishra Bhakti, where Bhakti is dominating. In Srimad Bhagavatam or in the 12th chapter, when they are talking about Jnana, they are talking about Bhakti Mishra Jnana, which means they are talking about lot of Jnana, little bit of Bhakti, right? And same way, Dhyana, they are talking about Ashtanga Yoga. So there is no disconnect. So if we actually go back to the 12th chapter, Krishna is telling, I'm not telling, in 12, if I'm right, 12.12, please don't hold me on the verse number, but the chapter number is 12. He very clearly says that Dhyana is better. Because in Dhyan, his focus is fully on the Paramatma realization. Then if he is successful, he will go to Brahmajyoti. If he is a failure, he will go worship the Virat Rupa and still become successful, take the long path and go, which is what we read. Therefore, between Jnana and Dhyana, Krishna is saying Dhyana is better, right? But that is still very complex because that is exactly what we saw in the first 3 chapters of Canto 2.1 to 3. Is how difficult, not even 3, 1 and 2, right? How difficult it is to do Dhyan, and the posture and all that. I still remember when I used to take in English, I never had a choice I had to take. But in Tamil, whenever there used to be 6th chapter, I'll be waiting for Garnish ma'am to come. I will make her take the class and run away. Because for me, even the theory part of Dhyan Yoga was very difficult. Forget about the practical doing of the Dhyan Yoga. Now, if you notice, I said this, I think when I was taking second Canto, I'll be waiting. Okay, Kran Chaitanya Prabhu will cover this, right? But unfortunately or fortunately, Krishna willing, that did not happen. He made me do things which we don't do or we don't like to do. Now, coming back, what we are talking here is the Dhyan Yoga is better than Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga here talks about strictly theoretical knowledge of I am not the body, I am the soul, which is fine provided we implement it, called Vijnana, which is taught in the Bhakti Yoga in between. So, Srimad Bhagavatam talks about Bhakti, Bhakta, right? And What is the third one? Bhakti, Bhakta, and
Bhagwan.
Haribol, Bhagwan, right? That's the main thing. So the three B's of Srimad Bhagavatam, that is the one. So what is happening is, now why we are talking, why am I bringing this? Is because the very, very first verse which we are talking about, Parikshit Maharaj, that is the first initial 4 verses, he's not only talking about detachment, because detaching from Krishna does, oh sorry, detachment from material world does not give us attachment to Krishna. Attachment to Krishna helps us to detach from the material world. Is that clear or am I confusing?
No, it is right.
Got it, right? So that is why Param Drishtva Nivartite. I've still not got answer. If someone has, well and good. One thing is, I'm still very surprised when Srila Prabhupada went abroad and converted hippies, because hippies had no roots, no shastra, and according to most of us, we know that they never followed any of the regulated principles. Absolute free life. How could they see? For us, maximum what will be the case? 99% within India will be non-vegetarian. Even if they are not non-vegetarian, they will be vegetarian eating onion garlic. Probably that is where people will get stuck. Very unlikely I will see the balance 3. Only here, I think most of us have been having conflicts, right? So now, if you take abroad, all 4 eggs are gone. In spite of that, how they are able to do this? Because of Param Drishtva Nivartite. Right? So, and Prabhupada, I think one of the person who was actually making the sculpture of Krishna, he had the habit of smoking. And that is Jagannath, right? And when Prabhupada was coming, he saw a cigarette piece. And he never yelled, he never shouted, though he was very scared. He said, don't let this piece of cigarette come between you and Krishna. That word brought about the change. Now you will be telling, Mataji, you're taking so much classes. Why change is not happening? Because I am not that idiot. We are trying to fall in parampara. But a word that is why we always tell we should be associating with pure devotee. Whenever we go to yatra also, we should connect to pure devotees, not just visit places. Sadhu Sangha. I think all those who came to Prayagraj, we saw that vibration. In Prayagraj, I was there the next day. I think most of you all left that night or early morning. The temple team told, we have never seen such a powerful set of devotees to ISKCON. Right? So I felt so nice. Why? Because we are meeting, probably many of us met first time, or many of us are meeting after a year. So we literally, Namnishta Prabhu was taking Srimad Bhagavatam, our Kirtan team was singing, we were all dancing. That's called the potency of Krishna, right? So powerful, we could feel it. And in a place like Prayagraj, which is Yatra, and also we came across a lot of devotees, senior devotees, where we could connect. That is the core aim. And I think now ma'am is also organizing a Yatra wherein the whole team, right? We will be connecting a lot of Mangalartis, a lot of senior devotees of ISKCON will be coming and giving us lectures or classes or Kirtan we'll be doing. That's how we have chance to connect to a lot of them, right? And also what happens after this? Now coming back to Srimad Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj asked questions. He says, okay, your Kada, whatever you have told me, it's dispelled. All that is gone. Now tell me the first class, Sarga, tell me all this. Now you will be wondering, what is this? Parikshit Sutta just started with that only. The first verse is that Janmadasya yatonmaya ditarataschatvega vijnaswarat tene brahmardaye adi kavaye muyyanti yat suraya tejo vari mrisham yata vinimayo tatrapi sargom mrisham damnasmena sada nirashta kuhakam satyam param dhimayi. Therefore, he is talking about that only. Creation, everything happened because of you. Right? You are the cause of all causes. After all that, why is he taking class? Because he wants to hear in depth. Right? And very clearly, I think we have not covered. If I'm right, I think second canto, 10th chapter has got exactly the purpose of the Visarga. Who is the secondary creator, Garbhota Kasai, all that, which we also saw, and that is also covered. Now, Sukha now starts answering. Now, there is this story, right? He's telling that, why are you asking me? Because he says, I want to hear. Okay, then why me? Why not others? Because he says that others are not so focused like you. You are Atma Ramaya Munaya. Nirgrante api Gurukrami. Purvanta hetu kim bhaktim itam guto gunoari. Because you are topmost, right? You are doing only for our liberation. the way you understand and the flow of events will be very systematic. So Sukha now starts remembering it. Before he even starts speaking, he's thinking of Krishna and he's paying obeisances as someone who is actually in charge of the three modes, which is basically he thinks of him as the three Gunavatars, right? What are the three Gunavatars?
Brahma, Vishnu,
Brahma, Vishnu, and
and
Shiva.
Shiva.
How many of you all have gone to Ayodhya here? Okay. We saw Lord Ram, obviously in Ayodhya. I'm talking about the Bala, the child form, the Bala form of Ram. On top of it, there was a, what should I tell? There was a sculpture. I get mixed up with these two words. Sorry about that. Sculpture, and somebody is there on top, on the roof. Who's there?
Inside the temple.
Temple inside Ayodhya.
Okay. Parivar, no?
Parivar was in the different floor, ma'am. Like, ma'am, second floor was the thing, first floor was Parivar. I'm talking about in the same floor. I'm talking about they had, what do you call, in the wall, just above that, no, that top on the roof. Not even roof, just on the top. They had embossed something. What was that?
I didn't observe.
See, you should come with people like me. We see everything other than the Lord. So that was also Lord invariably. That was Vishnu. Did anyone notice that? Nobody noticed? Okay. So that was particularly Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, which why I'm bringing this is because he is the Paramatma for all the for each and every universe. Why I'm saying this is in most of the temples you will see this. Wherever you see paintings or thing, you will see Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. Very rarely, very few places will have the deity of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. It will either be Mahavishnu or it will be Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu. Now Sukha Goswami prayers continue, right? He is now telling that, and second thing he also says he is a complete form, whatever, and he says liberates pious people because he gives whatever people ask. Both he destroys non-devotees. Now you'll be thinking, why he is so bad? We are talking about Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu, Named Vesho Sina Priyaha. Now Krishna is talking about destruction. Because here Sukha clarifies whether he what should I say, destroys or whether he helps. Both are same. That we've seen. We've seen classic examples of where Krishna's mercy is by destruction.
Bali Maharaj.
Excellent, Bali Maharaj. Not only Bali Maharaj, everybody, including the worst person like Shishupal, because Bali Maharaj was more of an attitude issue. But if you talk about Shishupal, Dhanvatra, everybody got destroyed, but they all took Swarupa, right? So getting destroyed by Krishna, not only that, all the demons we are reading in Krishna book are all talking about how elevated they became. If you go back to the first canto, you will remember a verse, right? If you remember the curse which Parikshit had, right? Who was the Muni? And what is the name of that Muni's son who cursed Parikshit?
Shringi.
Shringi. And Shringi's dad's name? Who was that Muni? Keep thinking. Meanwhile, I will talk about Shringi. Now, Shringi he was born in a Brahminical family. Why does he have that attitude which does not suit a Brahmin? Because many Brahmins, if they have that attitude, they are also not because of the pious deeds. It's also those who have seen Krishna, right, face to face. And if they were not able to go there, they had a chance of being born in the Brahminical family. They also had Asuric quality, which is why we see Mini Shringi. Whereas Shringi's dad was very different, right? He was a typical Ashtanga Yogi in a very liberated platform in line with Parikshit. So he is talking about so Krishna will stop the advances of the non-devotee and gives destination, whatever you want. Somebody wants Brahma Jyoti. We just saw in the first second canto, 3 chapters. Whoever wants whatever. Yanti Deva Vrata Devan, Prithri Yanti Prithravataha, Bhutani Yanchi Bhutevnu, Yanti Madhya Chinopya. Whatever you want, you give. It's not because the demigod is giving, it's because Krishna is granting. Right? So that is what it happens. And in the 14th verse, he's seeing him as he's an enjoyer of both material and spiritual world. Because both material and spiritual world is Krishna's first expansion, Balaram. So Balaram is only both material and spiritual world. What is the ratio between spiritual and material world?
Tripadam and Ekapadam.
1/4 and 3/4.
Very nice. Ekapadam, Tripadam, 1/4 and 3/4. So this probably many of the teachers here who've taken classes in the first level will know that many students, even in second level, will tell, I don't want to go. Who will take care of the material world? I have to be here. Or if I go there, will there be place? Right? So Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam answers all the questions. Now, after that, he actually between 11 to 18, his obeisances continues and he glorifies him. Right? He says that he's Hari. He steals all the sinful effects. So this is what in Ishopadaksa, Paryaka Chitramakaram Avyayam, Ishna Vidam Suttam Apapa Vidim, Kavi Manishi Paribu Swayambu, Vyata Yatratartan Vyatata Shashvadivya Samavya. Absolutely pure. Like how sun can burn all sins, so does Krishna. Now, therefore, surrendering to him reveals one of all present and future attachments. This links to your first verse. You understand? First verse, first few verses where Parikshit tells not only detachment but also attachment. Here also he says that. Therefore, if you surrender to him in the 16th verse, automatically your present attachment and in future whatever attachments you're likely to get, Krishna will remove. So this is what is the beauty of this sloka. I think we did till 16, but I thought it's important. Not only I summarize, but I try and connect the dots. Only till here, I also know. I didn't have too much time to revise. I just looked up for very few seconds. So pardon me for that, for my last moment of preparation. Let's go ahead with the 17th verse and let's read together and see what we can do together. Hare Krishna. 17th verse.
Tapasvino dana para yashashvino.
Tapasvino danapara
Yashasvino
Manasvino mantra vidasu mangalaha.
Manasvino mantra
Vidaha
mangala
Malaha
Shemam na vindanti vinayat arpanam.
Shemam na vindati
Tanti Vinayad
arpanam.
Arpanam
Tasmai subhadra sravesha namo namaha.
Tasmai
Bhadra Shavase Namo Namaha.
Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto all auspicious Lord Sri Krishna again and again, because the great learned sages, the great performers of charity, the great workers of distinction, the great philosophers and the mystics, the great chanters of the Vedic hymns, and the great followers of Vedic principles cannot achieve any fruitful result without dedication of such great qualities to the service of the Lord. Purport. Advancement of learning, a charitable disposition, political, social, or religious leadership of human society, philosophical speculation, the practice of the yoga system, expertise in the Vedic rituals, and all similar high qualities in man serve one in the attainment of perfection only when they are employed in the service of the Lord. Without such dovetailing, all such qualities become sources of trouble for people in general. Everything can be utilized either for one's own sense gratification or in the service of one or other than oneself. There are two kinds of self-interest also, namely personal selfishness and extended selfishness. But there is no qualitative difference between personal and extended selfishness. Theft for a personal interest or for the family interest is of the same quality, namely criminal. A thief pleading or not guilty because of committing theft, not for personal interest, but for the interest of society or country, has never been excused by the established law of any country. People in general have no knowledge that the self-interest of a living being attains perfection only when such an interest coincides with the interest of the Lord. For example, what is the interest of maintaining body and soul together? One earns money for maintenance of the body, that is personal or social, but unless there is God consciousness and unless the body is being properly maintained to realize one's realization with God, all good efforts to maintain body and soul together. Can you little bit scroll, Mataji? Hare Krishna.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, can you scroll?
Together, or similar
Yeah.
to the attempts of the animals to maintain body and soul together. The purpose of maintaining the human body is different from that of the animals. Similarly, advancement of learning, economic development, philosophical research, study in the Vedic literature, or even the execution of pious activities like charity, opening of hospitals, and distribution of food grains should be done in relation with the Lord. The aim of all such acts and endeavors must be the pleasure of the Lord and not the satisfaction of any other identity, individual or collective. Samsiddhi Haritoshan. In the Bhagavad Gita 9.27, the same principle is confirmed where it is said that whatever we may give in charity and whatever we may observe in austerity must be given over to the Lord or be done on his account only. The expert leaders of a godless human civilization cannot bring about the fruitful result in all their different attempts at educational advancement or economic development until they are God conscious. And to become God conscious, one has to hear about all the auspicious Lord, and as he is described in literature like the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So now, this is a particular verse which I really enjoyed, and I'll tell you why. Thank you so much, Madhuri. Very nice reading. So, why I enjoyed a lot is also because most of the time, when you talk to people who are in between, neither materialist nor spiritual, of course, we are also in between. But since our understanding is a little more compared to them, because we read or we at least hear our seniors, gurus telling us, when you ask them what is materialistic, which includes my mom, the first thing she will tell is materialist means jewelry, sari. I am never a materialist. I'm never for that. But when you ask her, what about your children? She'll tell, hey, what are you telling? Children, mine. Right? So when you tell them that is materialistic, she will not agree. I know a lot of people who say, even Prabhus who say that I don't earn for me. I really slog for the family, and they're very true. They are not lying. They are selfless according to them, because whatever they are doing is for the family and their world is just small. Just because I'm only inside the house, I can't tell the entire world is only this much. And I remember this statement from Namanishta Prabhu in the initial few days. This was one of his Isha Upanishad classes when he was taking. He asked me, do you know what percentage of our I will ask, what percentage are non-devotees? That was the question. Or what percentage will be devotees, whichever way. So let me tell, what percent out of 100 do you think will be devotees? I'm going to ask you the same question. Out of 100, how many people are devotees do you think in this world?
Maybe 1 or 2%.
Few.
Very nice. I think she's almost right. Hardly 1%. When Prabhu asked me, I said about 60-70%. He said, from where did you get the number? I said, I'm seeing everywhere. Right? He said, because you're seeing in a circle where you are among devotees. So when I have been seeing, because I also come from a family where we are all Vaishnavites, so therefore, we've all, according to me, my eyes has seen mostly devotees, right? So I made my own estimate. This is not there in any Shastra. According to Radhika, A.M. Radhika then, it was that. And later Prabhu told, I think Danishi ma'am also would have probably had the same figure, and Prabhu also would have had somewhere different figures, unlike your realization today. Right? Do I agree with you? So must have had a higher figure earlier. So with this thought in mind, I was also having this kind of a disturbed number, that when Prabhu said hardly 1%, in fact, less, right? Even less. That's what Isho says. Your heart really takes a beat. Is it like so bad? Or, this, and then we come into definition of devotee. Devotees are those, not just people who go to temple and come, but people who really, how do you define devotee, non-devotee?
Who practice devotion in every aspect of life.
Very nice. So basically, the classification is someone who follows Shastra, who does not follow Shastra. Very simple, right? That is what Prabhu is telling, who practice devotion. Words different, meaning same. But this particular example, I think I have not come across this example. When I say I have not come across, you'll be asking me, Mataji, have you not read Bhagavatam? Because before initiation itself, you should be we've read, but this has caught my eye only when I actually saw, or rather brushed through this. I would have probably read it even more in detail, or someone would have read, I would have heard it. But still, this is why Srimad Bhagavad and Bhagavad Gita, why they tell you read is, you will have your realization even on the same subject which you're looking for. So when you're talking about this particular example, it caught my heart very closely, telling that I've never had a very strong example to tell them, boss. I've told many examples. I've told, look at monkey. Monkey also loves its child. All that I've told, which is more offensive. But this example is so beautiful, which says that look at a thief. If he is going to steal for himself, you call him selfish. If he was going to steal for his family, you may still tell, hey, this fellow is doing for family. But it is not going to be different for the law. From law point of view, he is still a robber, right? And now, if he is going to steal from a rich and give to the poor, what is he called? Kill the rich, give to poor.
Robin Hood.
Robber. What is the term called? Robin Hood is one, and currently we call him Nexalite, right? Why does the term?
The next slide is different.
No,
It's
that's
for an
okay.
It's ideology.
Ideology. Okay. So anyway, I'm little way too weak in the political aspect of it, but the concept, I hope all of us are in sync. So end of the day,
But,
law will.
but there is also one who
Ah,
stole the money and built a temple.
yeah. So I have a story of that also. I'll come to that story at the end if we have time. But please remember this story. So just stealing and building a temple is also not something. It still can connect the person a bit spiritually. But the law is not going to tell that you stole and built a temple. Law is still going to punish you. So will spirituality, right? Nowhere they say that you can do the wrong things for the sake of thing. For example, I want to put money in the hundi, right? Okay, I have this habit. And I can't be proud about it. But thankfully, I have this habit with people who are close to me. So if I'm going, okay, sometimes we'll have wallet, sometimes the wallet will have money, sometimes we do not have money. So suddenly, I see a kid or something and I want to give, may not be a huge amount, maybe 100 rupees or something. If that is not there, for some reason, I don't have a change or something, I'll just tell from my friend, hey, give 100 rupee, I'll give. I will go and give back. So anytime, when there's somebody, my friends have the tendency to look at me and make fun of me, telling that, hey, you want to give charity, you give from your pocket. Don't take it from our purse. You understand where I'm coming from. The reason I'm telling is you want to build a temple. Okay, you have to work hard. I have to work hard if I want to build a temple and do donation. We cannot take it from someone and build anything, whether it's a hospital or a temple. Law, whether it is material law or spiritual law, definitely punishes. We may still get credits, that's a different thing, but we will also get punishment for the act. So people here have a larger issue, right? They are more focusing on body. Whatever it is, my hair is gray, I would like to color it. My body is heavy. I don't know, there's a specific treatment or specific food which will make me thin. I can look or Botox or something. If I inject myself, I will look younger. All that is not going to change my actual materialistic age. Same with this, coming back to the example of thief. So many of them who talk about materialism, I want to do this for the family, are all talking about what? Are all talking about materialism with respect to, thief, like, they feel that doing for the family is a great sacrifice. Nowhere Krishna says, you're doing to a family very good. No, it's all above perception. Therefore, bottom line is that it is either self, extended self, do it for the country, it's still extended. Ultimately, everything is Samsiddhir Haritoshnam. Ata Pumbi Juda. Anybody remembers this shloka? Samsiddhir Haritoshnam. We've read this. First canto. First chapter or second chapter. अतः पुंबीजुतोषा वर्णाश्रम विभागशः स्वनुष्ठिष्यस्य धर्मस्य संसिद्धिर्हरितोषणम. All the varnas and ashramas should be for Haritoshanam, to satisfy the senses of Hari, who's Krishna, which is very important. Also, one more thing which I'm telling, let's say that I'm having a mango, right? I think that was the last conclusion when Mataji read, right? Whatever we do, we offer to God. Yat karoshi yat dashansi yat jivosi dadasi yat tapasesi kaunteya tat purushva madarpanam. I want to ask you, why do we offer a mango to Krishna and eat? I mean, if I want to eat a mango, so I'm eating. Why should I offer?
You're spiritualizing it. You're
Excellent.
giving it.
Yes, spiritualizing.
Yeah.
Correct.
The energy of devotion you're putting into the
Excellent. So energy of, so mango is anyway sanctioned food because it's a vegetarian food given by Lord, right? But it's sanctified by me giving it to Krishna. So this is point one. Second thing is, this is from my point of view. What is from mango point of view? From the mango tree's point of view. My point of view, I'm taking care. My family, my friends, everyone, I'm spiritualized.
Yeah,
For the mango.
for a mango tree, it is also giving it to the Lord only. Again, from
Very
the other
nice.
side also.
And so you're there. And so
Dedicating it to the Creator.
correct answer. So what happens?
It's serving Krishna.
Very nice. It's serving Krishna. So
It's also Bhakti Yoga. It is practicing
it's
Bhakti
also
Yoga.
Bhakti Yoga. Thank you so much. So here we are always thinking about ourselves. We are talking about preaching. By doing this, a mango tree is producing, everything is producing. You take a cow, it gives milk. You take a tree, it gives flowers. You take a mango tree, it gives fruits. Everything Chetana, largely Chetana, which has brain, is all producing. It may not have the capability to go and serve Krishna directly. When you are actually doing it, the mango tree also gets the credits. And therefore, the chance of the mango tree to be born as a human is also very high. This is not told by me, it's told by some of the senior acharyas in their lecture. The reason I'm telling you is I was also very enlightened. Wow, this is very nice. Because, see, for whatever it is, right? Whether I'm purified, not purified, different. But parampara, if we are able to talk like parrot, that is what Sukha is doing, right? We follow the parampara, unlike a Chinese secret. Anyone knows what a Chinese secret is?
Yes, Mother.
Chinese whispers also it is called.
Chinese whisper. That only both interchangeably used. Chinese whisper, what is it?
When you're telling from one person to another, it changes. You don't tell the original whisper.
Very nice. In most of the corporate trainings, we incorporate that. We keep telling, and finally it comes to a different version. But very different is ours, right? Our parampara, we only do parrot work. But we in fact change to time place. We talk about examples of WhatsApp. WhatsApp never existed during Prabhupada's time, but we are talking about that. But the essence of the subject does not change. This is because of what makes us no, we are also telling, but why our story does not become a Chinese secret?
It doesn't change.
Why?
Because we follow Guru Parampara.
We follow, very nice answer, because we follow Guru Parampara. Still, why it doesn't change? You're right. We follow Guru Parampara. Therefore, we are. What happens because of that?
It comes in the disciplic succession.
Correct. It comes through disciple, but still it can become like a Chinese whisper, right? We can have a different version. What is not? How is it befitting that the versions are not changing? Even though people like me who teach and we are not that purified souls. How? Because Krishna protects. Yataditam, yatamati, yataditam, right? He says that whatever I can remember is what I'll be able to produce, what I can give. How is that taken care? Is because we are following Guru Sahib's thing. I think Lalita Mataji brought that point, and all of you all told correctly. Because of that, we are having that protection, like insurance cover, right? So we're being guarded by Lord to make sure that the version is not distorted, the version's original meaning is not lost. People, and which is why we should not listen to Bhagavata Sapta from people who are materialist, and it is called Nama Aparad because they would want to make money for themselves. When I tell money, it's not necessarily money, it can mean anything. It can be even among us if our interest is to get YouTube subscribers, or I want to become famous, I want to become top, right? If you have any of these thoughts in your mind, not necessarily money, anything which is materialistically power, like Kunti Maharani was talking, right? What is that? Janma Ishwarya Shruta Shrivi Edamana Madapuma Neva Hatya Vivatum Vaitwam Akinchana Gocharam. So anything, Janma Aishwarya Shruta Shri, anything I want, I want to show off, anything I want to do, then I'm finished. Because then my version will become distorted. To the extent how everything, to my understanding, only I'll be able to produce. That is different. My understanding is on the level of purity. But all of us are going to be preachers, right? I am not going to ever become a preacher like Prabhupada. But still what I'm trying to do, Prabhupada says, learn 2 lines, 2 words, and tell. So that is the blessing of Guru Parambara and special mercy of Krishna, who actually our journey is facilitated by 2. One is by Balaram, who acts as Adi Guru and supports us, by also the lovable Ladini Shakti of Radharani, who comes in between to relish. Balaram's job is, what's this girl? Like the teacher, I will send warden. If I send some Prabhus and Mataji only, she will tell. That work he takes care. But that relishing feature, that Bhava, Maha Bhava, to enjoy whatever is happening in the class. We enjoy reading Bhagavad Gita. We enjoy doing Bhagavatam. Nobody is forcing us to tell a word. If you don't finish Bhakti Shastri, you're out. Nobody tells that. If you don't finish Bhakti Vaibhav, I'm going to disqualify. No. So many queries are coming on Bhakti Vaibhav fast track in spite of you studying here. Why? Because that Bhava, that Maha Bhava is Radhini Shakti of Radha. So this is the beauty. Now let's move on to the 18th verse. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Verse 18. Kirata Hunandra Pulinda Pulkasha
Indra Pulkasa
Abhira Shumbhaya Vanaha Kasadaya
Abhira Shumbhayavana Kashadaya
Ye Anye Cha Papayat Apashrayashrayah
Ye Anyata Papa Yat Aparashrayashraya
Shudhyanti Tasmai Prabhavishnave Namaha.
Shushyanti Tasmai Prabhavishnave Namaha.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki Jai.
1 minute, Mataji. Just a minute. Let me find my cursor.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, please.
Yeah. Kirata, Huna, Andhra, Pulinda, Pulkasha, Abhira, Shumbha, Yavana, members of the Khasa races and even others addicted to sinful acts can be purified by taking shelter of the devotees of the Lord due to His being the supreme power. I beg to offer my respectful obeisances unto Him. Purport. Kirata is a province of old Bharata Varsha mentioned in the Bhishma Parva of Mahabharata. Generally, the Kiratas are known as the aboriginal tribes of India, and in modern days, the Santal Parganas in Bihar and Chota Nagpur might comprise the old province named Kirata. Huna. The area of East Germany and part of Russia is known as the province of the Hunas. Accordingly, sometimes a kind of hill tribe is known as the Hunas. Andhra, a province in southern India mentioned in the Bhishma Parva of Mahabharata, it is still extant under the same name. Pulinda, it is mentioned in the Mahabharata, Adi Parva 174.38, that the inhabitants of the province of the name Pulinda. This country was conquered by Bhishma Sena and Sahadeva. The Greeks are known as Pulindas, and it is mentioned in the Vana Parva of Mahabharata that the non-Vedic race of this part of the world would rule over the world. This Pulinda province was also one of the provinces of Bharata, and the inhabitants were classified amongst the Kshatriya kings. But later on, due to their giving up the Brahmanical culture, they were mentioned as Mlechas, just as those who are not followers of the Islamic culture are called Kafirs, and those who are not followers of the Christian culture are called heathens. Abhira. The name also appears in the Mahabharata, both in the Sabha Parva and Bhishma Parva. It is mentioned that this province was situated on the river Saraswati in Sindh. The modern Sindh province formerly extended on the other side of the Arabian Sea, and all the inhabitants of that province were known as the Abhiras. They were under the domination of Maharaj Yudhishthira, and according to the statements of Markandeya, the Mlechas of this part of the world would also rule over Bharata. Later on this proved to be true, as in the case of the Pulindas. On behalf of the Pulinda, Alexander the Great conquered India, and on behalf of the Abhiras, Muhammad Ghori conquered India. These Abhiras were also formerly Kshatriyas within the Brahmanical culture, but they gave up the connection. The Kshatriyas, who were afraid of Parashurama, had hidden themselves in the Caucasian hilly regions, later on became known as the Abhiras, and the place they inhabited was also known as Abhira Desha. The Shumbhas or Kankans, the inhabitants of the Kankan province of Old Bharata mentioned in the Mahabharata. Yavanas. Yavana was the name of one of the sons of Maharaj Yayati, who was given the part of the world known as Turkey to rule. Therefore, the Turks are Yavanas due to being descendants of Maharaj Yavana. The Yavanas were therefore Kshatriyas, and later on, by giving up the Brahmanical culture, they became Mlecha Yavanas. Description of the Yavanas are in the Mahabharata, Adi Parva 85.34. Another prince called Turvasu was also known as Yavana, and his country was conquered by Sahadev, one of the Pandavas. The western Yavana joined with Duryodhana in the battle of Kurukshetra under the pressure of Karna. It was also foretold that these Yavanas would conquer India, and it proved to be true. Khasa. The inhabitants of the Khasa Desha are mentioned in the Mahabharata, Drona Parva. Those who have stunted growth of hair on the upper lip are generally called Khasas. As such, the Khasas are Mongolians, the Chinese, and others who are so designated.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, just 1 second. So
Yes.
I think there's not much of, it's only reading so we can do. And Huna, we know about Germany, Russia, that's the area. Andhra, I'm glad now I came to know that it continues to be the same name ever since it was during the Mahabharata time. Otherwise, with current politicians, every name gets changed, at least in South India. No, not South India, even, I think, even North India for that matter, Delhi, Gurgaon is called something. What is it called? Someone
Gurugram.
Gurugram. So I was telling I have to go to Gurgaon. Later only I realized that both are same. So the names keep changing so much that it makes our lives very complicated. Now, I think Alexander the Great, all of us know, and look how accurate that is. Also, Yavanas. Does anyone remember whom Maharaja Yayati married?
Bayana,
Sorry?
the personified form of. He didn't marry, I think.
Oh, Yayati.
Personified form of Baya.
King Yayati married. Sorry, your voice is going in and out, ma'am. King Yayati married someone.
No, he took as the Baya Chandavega. 1 second.
Devayani and Sharmishta, Mataji.
No.
Excellent. Devayani, thank you so much. Devayani and Sarmishta. So Devayani was the daughter of Sukracharya. So you know the story. I think probably many of you all would have sort of forgotten the story. So Devayani and Sarmishta are two friends who will be taking bath. Do you know the story or you don't?
Don't know, Mataji.
You don't know? Okay. So Prabhu, for a moment, can you stop sharing the screen?
Okay.
Need full
Am I
attention.
disturbing? Am I
Yes.
disturbing?
No,
Okay.
no.
I'll stop.
I want my face. I want my face when I'm telling story.
Okay. 1 minute.
Because anyway, very few of your videos are on, so that is why. And not because you're disturbing, it's because I want others to focus about the story. Just kidding.
Is this okay?
Hare Krishna.
Is
So
this okay?
basically, this
Is this
fine.
okay?
No, what is this? Acha, okay.
The
No,
recording
no,
has stopped, it says. Mataji, can you
I'll do
please
that.
record?
No problem. I'll start the story. What is this? Yeah. Just 1 second. Yeah,
I'll
perfect.
stop sharing now.
Yeah, no problem. Hare Krishna. So this is Yayati. The reason I'm telling about Yayati is just to take a tour, and we are having this particular story in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Yayati before King Yayati is supposed to be a very handsome, very lovable, nice king. So the story of Yayati is like this, right? So first Devayuti and Sarmishta, both of them will be playing. So basically, are friends, right? They used to have the Brahmin children, the king's daughters, and all. Sarmishta was the daughter of a very, very big Kshatriya king. All these are not like the emperors, but these are the kings. And everybody knows Sukracharya is a very powerful. Obviously, the demons, Acharya, but still a very powerful Acharya. So what happens is at that time, Devayani, not Devayuti, sorry, Devayani and Sarmishta, they are talking, they are playing, they are enjoying. And while they are doing that, they are all playing in the water and all that. At that time, and when they are very undressed, so what happens is when they hear the noise of Yayati or whatever, some king coming in, they get very uncomfortable and they actually quickly dress themselves up. When that is happening, Sharmishta accidentally, what happens is both of them, Sharmishta and Devayani, at that time, Devayani accidentally, not even Devayani, Sharmishta accidentally wears Devayani's dress. Right? So when Sharmishta accidentally wears Devayani dress, Devayani gets very angry because Devayani is the daughter of a Brahmin. Ideally, she should not have got anger, but she gets very angry and she chastises her, telling that, how can you wear my dress? Typically like the Shringi part 2. Like how you are wearing, you are born out of an ordinary family. How could you do this? You are ordinary family means king's family only. But according to a Brahmana, Kshatriyas come next, right? The Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. So while doing that, Sarmishta gets so angry. I am a princess and you're behaving in this manner. And she gets so angry and she pushes Devayani completely naked into a well. So Devayani is very uncomfortable. And all of them leave. Now what happens is Yayati, that is at that time, he's just coming over there and he hears and he wants to save her. But obviously he can't save her because she's very undressed. And obviously those days there is can be seen only by her husband. So Devayani will say that, you have to, she's very beautiful and Yayati is extremely handsome and say, okay, I want to, marry you. And he will first disagree because we read about Adama marriage, right? If a girl is a Brahmin and if he marries, the marriage is not, because for her it's a Adama marriage. She'll lower the caste, she can't marry. So she will say that I have a previous curse and I'm not getting into the story within story. Therefore, she's already cursed that she can marry only a non-Brahmin. So she says, anyway, I do not have a scope of marrying a Brahmin. Therefore, I would love to marry you. He says, no, I can't marry you. And then she will convince and she will get the permission of her father, Sukracharya, who will get her married to him. Prior to that, Sukracharya gets very upset and he goes to the father of Sarmishta to actually curse him and, pick a fight. But Sarmishta's father, very smart, who's a Kshatriya, does not want to take the Brahmin's curse. So he in turn gives a promise telling that I will send my daughter Sarmishta to serve as the maid of Devayani forever. With that, Sukracharya gets pleased and he will bring her, Sarmishta, who's actually a princess, as a maid of Devayani. And on marrying Yayati, Sarmishta will also have to go along to the kingdom of Yayati. But Sukracharya will have a condition. The condition Sukracharya will put is, you can actually, you will take this girl only as a maid, and at no point in time you will marry her or stay with her or with the Sarmishta. So what happens is one fine day, she will see Devayani having children, she will get interested and she will go to Yayati and tell, I want to have a child. And therefore, Yayati, being a Kshatriya, they can't generally tell no for such request. And he will also love Sharmishta. It's not that he will not, he'll be attracted to her and they will have children. Now, with this story, some of Devayani will get to know, she will be very angry. She will go to Sukracharya and Sukracharya will curse Yayati. He will curse Yayati, telling that you will, because of your young age, you are marrying someone. Therefore, you will be cursed from now on, telling that you will not have children at all. Not children, you use your youth. You not have children, as in going forward, you will not be able to procreate. You're done. You will not have any, you won't be able to take it further. You are, you will be stuck with old age. So he will be very, very upset and he will apologize to, Sukracharya, and he will tell him, I'm a Kshatriya and I can't do all this. So what can I do? And therefore, because of that, he will tell, no problem, you've got 5 children. Basically, he will have 3 children through, the first one, that is Devyani. And he will also have the other 3 children born out of Sarmishta. The youngest only is Puru, right? And the oldest one, the first one is Yadu. And Yadu only, he will go and ask, can you please give me, youth? And he will say, no, I can't, because you already enjoyed. And what about me? I can't, tolerate, why should I use my, youth? And then finally, he will ask each one of them. And Puru, youngest son, will say, okay, he will swap his youth. And after coming back, after his long dawn process, he'll come back and he'll become like, he will be tired. He'll tell, I don't need anything. Let me go back. Let me have moksha, ultimately liberation. And he will come. And since Puru had, sacrificed his youth, he will give back his youth and he will give back the entire kingdom for Puru. So this is the story of Yayati and his children. Because in spite of that, no matter how much you enjoy, there'll be a stage when you will get bored with that youth. So whatever I told you, your face creams, your youth, your hair dyes, your Borex or whatever you call, Botex or whatever, right? All that is not going to keep someone eternally young. So this is where the link is coming, and this is what we hear as Puru dynasty. That is where Puru comes from. Hare Krishna. Right? So,
Mataji, recording has stopped, please.
Yeah, it's going
Please.
like I'll activate it. Thank you, Prabhu. So now you got it. So I thought for a change, I'll do detour of story, and it's been very long since I've told story. So even I thought, okay, let me just share some story which I know with you all. Now, why I'm telling this is now the Yavana name, right, was one of the sons. So I don't know whether it's the first son, Yadu, or whom, but from there, Tulu dynasty was very strong and followed Brahminical. One of the sons, and I'm assuming it should be Yadu, because one of them, so they only become Mlecha Yavanas, and that is what they are talking about this. Mataji, this is the only bit I know out of this whole thing, so you can continue the rest.
Okay, I'll go up. One minute.
Sure. From Kasha.
Yes, Mataji.
Kasha, she finished. That is, they are the Chinese. Maybe, you have to continue now.
Hare Krishna. The above mentioned historical names are different nations of the world. Even those who are constantly engaged in sinful acts are all corrigible to the standard of perfect human beings if they take shelter of the devotee of the Lord. Jesus Christ and Muhammad, 2 powerful devotees of the Lord, have done tremendous service on behalf of the Lord on the surface of the globe. And from the version of Srila Shukadev Goswami, it appears that instead of running a godless civilization in the present context of the world situation, if the leadership of world affairs is entrusted to the devotees of the Lord, for which a worldwide organization under the name and style of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness has already been started, then by the grace of the Almighty Lord, there can be a thorough change of heart in human beings all over the world, because the devotees of the Lord are able authorities to effect such a change by purifying the dust-worn minds of the people in general. The politicians of the world may remain in their respective positions because the pure devotees of the Lord are not interested in political leadership or diplomatic implications. The devotees are interested only in seeing that the people in general are not misguided by political propaganda, and that the valuable life of a human being is not spoiled in following a type of civilization which is ultimately doomed. If the politicians, therefore, would be guided by the good counsel of the devotees, then certainly there would be a great change in the world situation by the purifying propaganda of the devotees, as shown by Lord Chaitanya. As Shukadev Goswami began his prayer by discussing the word Yat Kirtanam, so also Lord Chaitanya recommended that simply by glorifying the Lord's holy name, a tremendous change of heart can take place, by which the complete misunderstanding between the human nations created by politicians can at once be extinguished. And after the extinction of the fire of misunderstanding, other profits will follow. The destination is to go back home, back to Godhead, as we have several times discussed in these pages. According to the cult of devotion, generally known as Vaishnava cult, there is no bar against anyone advancing in the matter of God realization. A Vaishnava is powerful enough to turn into a Vaishnava, even the Kirata, etc., as above mentioned. In the Bhagavad Gita 9.32, it is said by the Lord that there is no bar to becoming a devotee of the Lord, even for those who are low-born or women, Shudras or Vaishyas. And by becoming a devotee, everyone is eligible to return home back to Godhead. The only qualification is that one takes shelter of a pure devotee of the Lord who has thorough knowledge in the transcendental science of Krishna, the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Anyone from any part of the world who becomes well conversant in the science of Krishna becomes a pure devotee and a spiritual master for the general mass of people and may reclaim them by purification of heart. Though a person be even the most sinful man, he can at once be purified by systematic contact with a pure Vaishnava. A Vaishnava, therefore, can accept a bona fide disciple from any part of the world without any consideration of caste and creed and promote him by regulative principles to the status of a pure Vaishnava who is transcendental to Brahmanical culture. The system of caste or varnashram dharma is no longer regular even amongst the so-called followers of the system. Nor is it now possible to re-establish the institutional function in the present context of social, political, and economic revolution. Without any reference to the particular custom of a country, one can be accepted to the Vaishnava cult spiritually, and there is no hindrance in the transcendental process. So, by the order of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the cult of Srimad Bhagavatam or the Bhagavad Gita can be preached all over the world, reclaiming all persons willing to accept the transcendental cult. Such cultural propaganda by the devotees will certainly be accepted by all persons who are reasonable and inquisitive without any particular bias for the custom of the country. The Vaishnava never accepts another Vaishnava on the basis of birthright, just as he never thinks of the deity of the Lord in a temple as an idol. And to remove all doubts in this connection, Srila Shukadev Goswami has invoked the blessings of the Lord, who is all-powerful. Prabhav Vishnave Namaha. As the all-powerful Lord accepts the humble service of his devotee in devotional activities of the Archana, his form as the worshipable deity in the temple, similarly, the body of a pure Vaishnava changes transcendentally at once when he gives himself up to the service of the Lord and is trained by a qualified Vaishnava. The injunction of Vaishnava regulation in this connection runs as follows. Arche Vishnu Shila Dhir Gurusu Nara Matir Vaishnave Jati Buddhi Shri Vishnur Nami Shabdha Samanya Buddhihi, etc. One should not consider the deity of the Lord as worshipped in the temple to be an idol, nor should one consider the authorized spiritual master as an ordinary man. Nor should one consider a pure Vaishnava to belong to a particular caste, etc., according to Padma Purana. The conclusion is that Lord, being all-powerful, can under any and every circumstance accept anyone from any part of the world, either personally or through his bona fide manifestation as the spiritual master. Lord Chaitanya accepted many devotees from communities other than the Varnashramites, and he himself declared to teach us that he does not belong to any caste or social order of life, but that he is the eternal servant of the Lord who maintains the damsels of Vrindavana, that is Lord Krishna. That is the way of self-realization. Hare Krishna. Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
Mother.
Very beautifully and very nicely read. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
would have not read properly if you've not read here. So thanks for that. So this one particularly, we come to know about so many people, right? How India, because if you take Gandharvi, she's also coming from Afghanistan, right? So those days, even for that matter, if you track the current level of geography of Sita, right? Janaka Maharaj, somewhere near Nepal. So we see all that. So where we are coming from is earlier that Bharat nation was much broader and wider than what we see in the India map. Also, what they said is there are a Vaishnava never looks down, and this is very clearly there in Nectar of Instruction. Does anyone remember either the verse sloka or the meaning of that particular sloka? What is it said about your spiritual master or Vaishnava? There is a particular verse. Don't know the verse though. Number I don't know, but it's in Nectar of Instruction. दृष्टे स्वभाव जनिते वपुषस्ते दोषे न प्राकृतात्तमिह भक्त जनस्य पश्चेत् ब्रह्म गंगां वशम् इहु बुद्बुडपेन पंके ब्रह्म द्रवत्वं निधिगच्छति नीरधर्मे. This is a sloka. Do you recall the sloka and the meaning? Drishte, from what we see, Swabhava, we should not look down off the spiritual master because he is someone who is totally situated in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, what happens, we should not see him from a materialistic point of view. Two things of that. One is, suppose he's having a black body or a defamed body, you don't tell him, he's defamed, he's ugly looking. One. Second thing is, even otherwise, he's a Australian body, he's a Sri Lankan body, he's an African body. We don't talk like that because the complexion, the form, or from wherever he comes, even that should not be a criteria. Classic example is Sukadev Goswami's class. Sutta was nominated as his subordinate, right? How? Because Sukadev, it seems its acharyas are saying that when he was talking, his eyes fell many times on Sukha, indirectly telling that you have to continue the preaching. Therefore, Sukha, when he went to Naimisharanya and he was preaching the rishis, who were like doing a yagna for 1,000 years, headed by Samika Rishi. So what happens is, in that particular moment, what was happening, the level of the power or the content which they shared was so strong and everyone accepted Sutta. Though Sutta was not a Brahmin, right? Why did he accept? And in fact, 500 years ago, also when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had accepted and nominated a lot of them. Therefore, both of them, Sutta was also accepted during Chaitanya's reign. Also, many people, if you see, he never had a caste or creed. Anybody who could speak. Ramananda Rai was a classic example where he is not considered to be from any elevated caste, but they accepted him. So why we are talking about all this is it's very, very important that we do not, just like in Ganga, when Ganga water is dirty or when they are having foam or whatever, what do? We just move it and then we take bath, right? We do not hesitate. When we all had been to Kasi also, we had been to Ganga, right? Myself, my mom, Namnishra Prabhu, and from the temple, this Prabhu, Sarvananda Prabhu, all four of us were in one vehicle, right? So when we went, right, we left mom and we three of us had gone. Right, that time Prabhu was actually telling, "Hey, careful, it could be risky." But still, he never stopped us, nor did he stop himself from taking the Ganga Jal and putting it on the head. Though that was an area where, we were a little worried because in Kasi, there were also practices where they were burning the bodies and halfway through some of this were getting into the water. Even though we had the fear and Prabhu was scaring us by telling, careful when you jump into the water, one finger may come and all that. But jokes apart, the quality of Ganga is not demand. So that is the quality and the power of Ganga Mai, right? Same way, all these people, wherever they have this connect with Krishna, they are like, having Krishna in their heart. Because for us, for all the Ashtanga yogis, the Krishna, they aim at the foot of Krishna. But these people, they are focusing or they are already residing in the core of, in Krishna's heart. And they have Krishna in their heart. Which is why Prabhupada said, wherever they go, that is Vrindavan. That is the mood with which they serve. And that is what is their greatness, right? So let's move on to the next verse. And about these people, I think it is very self-explanatory. So let's go to the 19th verse. Hare Krishna.
May I start? Hare Krishna.
Yes, please go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sayesha Atmatmavatam Adishwaras.
Saesha Atmatmavatam Adishwaras.
Mayo Dharmamayastapomaya.
Mayo Dharmamayastapomaya.
Gata Vyalikair Ajashankaradibhir.
Gata Vyalike Ajashankaradibihi.
Vitarkyalingo Bhagavan Prasidatam.
Vitarkalingo Bhagavan Prasidatam.
Krishna. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. He is the super soul and the supreme lord of all self-realized souls. He is the Vasarangini Mataji, I think there's a record from your end.
Can't hear you.
There's some class going on. I could hear some audio. Oh, yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna. He is the super soul and the supreme lord of all self-realized souls. He is the personification of the Vedas, religious scriptures, and austerities. He is worshipped by Lord Brahma and Shiva and all those who are transcendental to all pretensions. Being so revered with awe and venerations, may that supreme absolute be pleased with me. Purport. The Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, although the Lord of all followers of different paths of self-realization, he is knowable only by those who are above all pretensions. Everyone is searching for eternal peace or eternal life. And within an aim to this destination, everyone is either studying the Vedic scriptures or other religious scriptures, or undergoing severe austerity as empiric philosophers, as mystic yogis, or as unalloyed devotees, etc. But the Supreme Lord is perfectly realized only by the devotees because they are above all pretensions. Those who are on the path of self-realization are generally classified as karmis, yanis, yogis, or devotees of the Lord. The karmis, who are much attracted by the fruitive activities of the Vedic rituals, are called bhakti kami, or those who desire material enjoyment. The jnanis who try to become one with the Supreme by mental speculation are called mukti kami, or those who desire liberation from material existence. The mystic yogis who practice different types of austerities for attainment of 8 kinds of material perfection and who ultimately meet the super soul, that is Paramatma, in trance are called siddhikami, or those who desire the perfection of becoming finer than the finest, becoming heavier than the heaviest, getting everything desired, having control over everyone, creating everything like, etc. All these are abilities of a powerful yogi. But the devotees of the Lord do not want anything like that for self-satisfaction. They want only to serve the Lord because the Lord is great, and as living entities, they are eternally subordinate parts and parcel of the Lord. The perfect realization of the self by the devotee helps him to become desireless, to desire nothing for his personal self, and thus the devotees are called nishkami, without any desire. A living entity by his constitutional position cannot be void of all desires. That is the bhuktikami, muktikami, and siddhikami. All desire something for personal satisfaction. But the nishkami devotees of the Lord desire everything for the satisfaction of the Lord. They are completely dependent on the orders of the Lord and are always ready to discharge their duty for the satisfaction of the Lord. Shall I continue? Hare Krishna. Okay. In the beginning, Arjuna placed himself as one of those who desire self-satisfaction, for he desired not to fight in the battle of Kurukshetra, but to make him desireless, the Lord preached Bhagavad Gita, in which the ways of Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Hatha Yoga, and also Bhakti Yoga were explained. Because Arjuna was without any pretension, he changed his decision and satisfied the Lord by agreeing to fight, Karishye Vachanam Tava, and thus he became desireless. The examples of Brahma and Lord Shiva are specifically cited here because Brahmaji, Lord Shiva, Srimati Lakshmi Ji, and the 4 Kumaras, that is Sanaka, Sanatana, etc., are leaders of the 4 desireless Vaishnava Sampradayas. They are all freed from all pretensions. Srila Jiva Goswami interprets the word Gata Vyalikai as Projita Kaitavai. Projita Kaitavai, or those who are freed from all pretensions, the unalloyed devotees only. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 19.149, it is said, Krishna Bhakti Nishkama Tayeva Shanta Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakali Ashanta. Those who are after fruitive results for their pious activities, those who desire salvation and identity with the Supreme, and those who desire material perfections of mystic power are all restless because they want something for themselves. But the devotee is completely peaceful because he has no demand for himself and is always ready to serve the desire of the Lord. The conclusion is, therefore, that the Lord is for everyone because no one can achieve the result of his respective desires without his sanction. But as stated by the Lord in Bhagavad Gita 8.9, all such results are awarded by him only, for the Lord is Adishvara, that is the original controller of everyone, namely the Vedantis, the great Karmakandiyas, the great religious leaders, the great performers of austerity, and all who are striving for spiritual advancement. But ultimately, he is realized by the pretensionless devotees only. Therefore, special stress is given to the devotional service of the Lord by Srila Shukadeva Goswami. Hare Krishna. You're on mute. You're on mute. Unmute yourself. You're still on
Still
mute.
muted one.
Hare Krishna.
Still
So the
muted.
background voice was because of not class. Background voice, somebody was selling something in the road. So that reflected.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Sorry for that. So basically, when we are talking about three categories, we are talking about those who are focusing on karma. We are talking about, that is karma kanda, where they are focusing on, right, materialism, which is bhukti. And somebody who wants liberation, mukti, and obviously siddhikami, because he needs siddhik powers. So that is why a pure devotee wants, first of all, ekatvam, which is merging with the Lord. Forget it. Even otherwise, if you talk about what are the four types, other than that, what are the other four liberations?
Salokya Sayujya,
Correct.
Sashti, and Sarupya.
Sarupya. One more you just left.
Sarupya, Salokya, Sashti, and
Correct. And ekatvam, which is what we've done, right? Which is only Sayuja. So there is this sloka also. Salokya sashti samipya sarupya ekatvam apiyuta diya manena grinnanti vina mat sevanam jana. That means what they are telling. Dina means I'm giving you. Dina manana grinnanti. Even if I'm giving you vina, I don't want mat sevanam janaha. Janaha means devotees are saying I want only that. So salokya sashti samipya sarupya ekatvam means sayuja. Okay. Apyuta. Dina mananan grinanti. Even if I'm giving you, I don't want all that. Dina mat sevanam jana. If I'm not having seva, forget it. I'm not even taking that, is what they are telling. So that is something which is the highest elevation. And this is strictly followed by 12 Mahajans. We are having the 12 Mahajans. Who are the 12 Mahajans? Few are here, but some more. Who are the 12 Mahajans?
Janaka.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, many are there. I don't know in order.
No, any order you tell. It's okay. 12 numbers we need.
One Janaka is there and
Bhishma, Narada.
Narada.
Correct.
Prahalada.
Yama.
Yama.
Very nice.
Bhishmudu.
Bhishmudu is only Bhishma. Nice. Five only we got. 12. How Guna avatars you left? Very important. Swayambhu Narada Shambhu Kumaro Kapilo Manu Prahalado Janako Bhishma Bali Vayasakir Vayam. Our Sukha. See, main things you left. How can we Vyasa, Sukadev, right? Our Shiva. So Swayambhu Manu. Narada you told. Shambhu is Shiva. Kumaro is you told. Sanat Kumara. Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Kumaro, Kapila Muni. Kapilo, and then Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Kumaro, Kapilo, Manuhu, Prahalado, you told. Prahalado, Janaka Maharaj, Sita Mas, Janaka, Prahalado, Janako, Bhishma, you told. Bali Maharaj, Vaya Shakir is obviously our Sutta Goswami, Vayam, right? So all of them. So finally, obviously our Yamadharma Raja, right? So basically all of them. Right, that is we are also these are the 12 Mahajans. So we can't why are they called Mahajans? Because we will follow the path of what should I say, they have actually set the road as to how and whom we should follow. So these are the things. So Swayambhu talks about somebody who came on his own from Lord, which is Lord Brahma, right? Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu, these are all, they have set the foundation for us how we should actually go to the next level. So these are the top more, what should I say? These are examples or these are role models. Role models will be a better word. So these are people whom we have to follow as to how we have to practice bhakti. We may tell that how can we follow? These are they all sannyasis? No. If you see, most of them are grahasthas as well. So everybody are following. Ultimately, whether in fact I came to know something very recently. Okay, Guru Maharajas who are giving us initiation, are they sannyasis? Are they grahasthas?
Both.
Excellent. Both. I was expecting Mini to tell sannyasis. Actually, Guru Maharaj, for us, of course, Jayapardika, Guru Maharaj is different, but even grahasthas who are elevated. So Prabhupada very clearly does not talk about leaving and running. He's talking about you can be a grahastha and follow. So this is one thing which we should be very, very clear of, right? So Arjuna is placed in a perplexity of confusion. So much of confusion. Why? Because in Kali Yuga, all of us are confused, which is why they are representing Arjuna. Arjuna is a symbol who is not by himself a confused person. He's a very clear person, right? If his profile, he's come as Naranarayana, all of them. So, but still, why? Because just to give us the position and the lineage that we will be confused. And same way, that is why 4 sampradayas came. So, all of that, what they are telling is not worth it. The ultimate thing is to go back to Godhead. You may have karma mishra, bhakti, Bhakti Mishra Karma, all of that keeps coming now and then. Okay, what is the difference between karma? What is Karma Mishra Bhakti? What is Karma Mishra Bhakti? Switch on the charger. That's it. What is Karma Mishra Bhakti? Why silent? Speak. What do you mean by Mishra?
Mixed.
In conjunction, karma with conjunction with bhakti.
Karma mixed with the Bhakti. Very nice. Then what is Bhakti Mishra Karma?
In this case, bhakti will be predominant and karma will be lower.
In which case?
In the Bhakti Mishra karma.
The other way around. In Bhakti
Other way
Mishra.
around.
Yeah, so basically in Karma Mishra Bhakti, Bhakti is dominating more. Right? That means the person's karma, right? So the whichever comes later. So basically, he has bhakti, but this bhakti is sort of mixed with karma. Right? So that is the challenge which he's having. Same way, Jnana Mishra Jnana Mishra Bhakti means his bhakti is there, but he would have probably been a jnani or something. He still wants a bit of thing. So therefore, his focus is there. But irrespective of whatever, unless there is bhakti in it, a person will not be able to prosper at all. So that is something which we should be very, very clear of. So,
Mataji, Hare Krishna, 80% karma, 20% bhakti is called Karma Mishra Bhakti. Jnana Mishra Bhakti, 80% karma, 20% Jnana is called Jnana Mishra Bhakti.
Very nice. Are you asking or are you
I'm asking you. I know that.
Correct. So percentage we in spirituality, unfortunately, percentage we cannot define.
More
correct.
Is karma.
Yes, more Karma Mishra Bhakti lo ante there is lot of bhakti, Karma Mishra Bhakti. Lot of bhakti, little bit of karma.
No, Mataji. Lot of karma.
Go back and check. I'll check. Karma Mishra Bhakti means lot of bhakti, Mataji, and little bit of karma is there. Bhakti Mishra Karma is where lot of karma is there and bhakti is mixed.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Let's move. Someone can read the next one. Hare Krishna. Can someone read it?
If no one is reading, I will read.
Please go ahead and read.
Yeah, just wait a second. 1 second. Hare Krishna. Shriya Patir Yajna Patir Prajapatir.
Shriya Patir Yajna
Patir Prajapatir.
Dhiyam Patir Loka Patir Dharapatihi.
Dhiyam Patir Loka Patir Dharapatihi.
Patir Gati Chandaka Vrishti Satvatam.
Patir Gati Chandaka
Vrishti Satvatam.
Prasidatam me Bhagavan Satam Patihi.
Prasidatam me Bhagavan Patihi.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. May Lord Sri Krishna, who is the worshipable Lord of all devotees, the protector and glory of all the kings like Andaka and Vrishni of the Yadu dynasty, the husband of all goddesses of fortune, the director of all sacrifices, and therefore the leader of all living entities, the controller of all intelligence, the proprietor of all planets, spiritual and material, and the supreme incarnation on the earth, that is the supreme in all, be merciful upon me. Purport. Since Sukadeva Goswami is one of the prominent Gata Vyalikas who are freed from all misconceptions, he therefore expresses his own realized perception of Lord Sri Krishna as being the sum total of all perfection, the personality of Godhead. Everyone is seeking the favor of the goddesses of fortune, but people do not know that Lord Sri Krishna is the beloved husband of all goddesses of fortune. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that the Lord, in his transcendental abode Goloka Vrindavana, is accustomed to herding the Surabhi cows and is served there by hundreds of thousands of goddesses of fortune. All these goddesses of fortune are manifestations of his transcendental pleasure potency, that is Hladini Shakti, in his internal energy. And when the Lord manifested himself on this earth, he partially displayed the activities of his pleasure potency in his Rasa Leela, just to attract the conditioned souls, who are all after the Phantasmagoria pleasure potency is in degraded sex enjoyment. The pure devotees of the Lord, like Shukadeva Goswami, was completely detached from the abominable sex life of the material world, discuss this act of the Lord's pleasure potency, certainly not in relation to sex, but to relish a transcendental taste inconceivable to the mundaners who are after sex life. Sex life in the mundane world is the root cause of being conditioned by the shackles of illusion. And certainly Shukadeva Goswami was never interested in the sex life of the mundane world. Nor does the manifestation of the Lord's pleasure potency have any connection with such degraded things. Lord Chaitanya was a strict sannyasi, so much so that he did not allow any woman to come near him, not even to bow down and offer respects. He never even heard the prayers of the Devadasis offered in the temple of Jagannatha, because a sannyasi is forbidden to hear songs sung by the fair sex. Yet, even in the rigid position of a sannyasi, he recommended the mode of worship preferred by the gopis of Vrindavana as the topmost loving service possible to be rendered to the Lord. And Srimati Radharani is the principal head of all such goddesses of fortune. And therefore, she is the pleasure counterpart of the Lord and is not different from Krishna. In the Vedic rituals, there are recommendations for performing different types of sacrifice in order to achieve the greatest benefit in life. Such benedictions, as a result of performing great sacrifices, are after all favors given by the goddesses of fortune, and the Lord, being the husband or lover of the goddess of fortune, is factually the Lord of all sacrifices also. He is the final enjoyer of all kinds of yajna. Therefore, Yajnapati is another name of Lord Vishnu. It is recommended in Bhagavad Gita that everything be done for the Yajnapati, Yajnarthat Karmana. For otherwise, one's acts will be the cause of conditioning by the law of material nature. Those who are not freed from all misconceptions, that is Velikam, perform sacrifices to please the minor demigods. But the devotees of the Lord know very well that Lord Sri Krishna is the supreme enjoyer of all performances of sacrifice. Therefore, they perform the Sankirtana Yajna, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, which is especially recommended in the age of Kali. In Kali Yuga, performance of other types of sacrifice is not feasible due to insufficient arrangements and inexpert priesthood. We have information from Bhagavad Gita 3.10 and 11 that Lord Brahma, after giving rebirth to the conditioned souls within the universe, instructed them to perform sacrifices and to lead a prosperous life. With such sacrificial performances, the conditioned souls will never be in difficulty in keeping body and soul together. Ultimately, they can purify their existence. They will find natural promotion into spiritual existence, the real identity of the living being. A conditioned soul should never give up the practice of sacrifice, charity, and austerity in any circumstances. The aim of all sacrifices is to please the Yajnapati, the personality of Godhead. Therefore, the Lord is also Prajapati. According to Katha Upanishad, the one Lord in the leader of innumerable living entities. The living entities are maintained by the Lord, Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadati Kaman. The Lord is therefore called the supreme Bhutabrat, or maintainer of all living beings. Living beings are proportionately endowed with intelligence in terms of their previous activities. All living beings are not equally endowed with the same quality of intelligence, because behind such development of intelligence is the control of the Lord, as declared in Bhagavad Gita 15.15. As Paramatma, Super Soul, the Lord is living in everyone's heart. and from him only does one's power of remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness follow. Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. One person can sharply remember past activities by the grace of the Lord, while others cannot. One is highly intelligent by the grace of the Lord, and one is a fool by the same control. Therefore, the Lord is Dhiyampati, or the Lord of intelligence. The conditioned souls strive to become lords of the material world. Everyone is trying to lord it over the material nature by applying his highest degree of intelligence. This misuse of intelligence by the conditioned soul is called madness. One's full intelligence should be applied to get free from the material clutches. But the conditioned soul, due to madness only, engages his full energy and intelligence in sense gratification. And to achieve this end of life, he willfully commits all sorts of misdeeds. The result is that instead of attaining an unconditional life of full freedom, the mad conditioned soul is entangled again and again in different types of bondage in material bodies. Everything we see in the material manifestation is but the creation of the Lord. Therefore, he is the real proprietor of everything in the universe. The conditioned soul can enjoy a fragment of this material creation under the control of the Lord, but not self-sufficiently. That is the instruction in the Ishopanishad. One should be satisfied with things awarded by the Lord of the universe. It is out of madness only that one tries to encroach upon another's share of material possessions. The Lord of the universe, out of his causeless mercy upon the conditioned souls, descends by his own energy, Atma Maya, to re-establish the eternal relation of the conditioned souls with him. He instructs all to surrender unto him instead of falsely claiming to be enjoyers for a certain limit under his control. When he so descends, he proves how much greater is his ability to enjoy, and he exhibits his power of enjoyment by, for instance, marrying 16,000 wives at once. The conditioned soul is very proud of becoming the husband of even one wife, but the Lord laughs at this. The intelligent man can know.
Sorry. You have to bear with me. I think suddenly some advertisement.
Hare Krishna. Actually, the Lord is the husband of all the women in his creation, but a conditioned soul under the control of the Lord feels proud to be the husband of one or two wives. All these qualifications as the different types of pati mentioned in this verse are meant for Lord Sri Krishna, and Sukadeva Goswami has therefore especially mentioned the pati and gati of the Yadu dynasty. The members of the Yadu dynasty knew that Lord Sri Krishna is everything, and all of them intended to return to Lord Krishna after he had finished his transcendental pastimes on the earth. The Yadu dynasty was annihilated by the will of the Lord because its members had to return home with the Lord. The annihilation of the Yadu dynasty was a material show created by the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, the Lord and the members of the Yadu dynasty are all eternal associates. The Lord is therefore the guide of all devotees, and as such, Shukadeva Goswami offered him due respects with love-laden feelings. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, very nicely read. Thank you, Madhavi. So coming back to a very important question, since we are talking about Pati, is Radha Rani mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam?
No, Mataji.
No.
Why not?
Because Sukadeva Goswami would have become too emotional explaining that.
Correct, ecstasy, and therefore if he goes into trance, finish, no, Parikshit has only 7-day notice. Sukha will have a 10-day notice to go on trance and come back, and he won't be having that luxury, right? So therefore, he does not talk about Radharani, which is why sometimes if you see our senior acharyas, or for that matter even Prabhupada, when they are taking, they don't get into, they're very cautious about the environment. Because once they get caught, if they go into ecstasy or they get very involved, then they'll find it difficult to get into explaining or anything. Which is why all Uttamadhikaris come down to the level of Madhyamadhikaris also for this purpose, besides differentiation. Now, next question. Is Radharani spoken in Bhagavad Gita?
No.
Directly, indirectly? Okay, in Srimad Bhagavatam also no, Bhagavad Gita also no, directly no, indirectly?
Yeah. Through
Very
Bakthi.
nice.
Bakthi.
Very nice. So Arjuna is confused, which means he's putting himself in our shoes, which is so basically Arjuna is not confused, but the role which he's taking is he's like taking our role, right? Or what is the relationship with which Arjuna is relating to Krishna at that time in the 11th chapter? 10th chapter, 11th chapter?
Normal human being, isn't it?
A normal human being, but what is his as a normal human being, but then what is
Student.
the
He's a
student?
student.
Exactly. So which means wow and reverence, right? So he's showing Param Brahma, Parandama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Shashvatam Divyam, Adi Devam Ajam Vimam. What is he trying to hit? He's talking about you are, Param Brahma, you're staying in Paramdam, you're wow, which is more of reverence, awe, right? So it's wonder. So he's having more of that, more of fear. But Radharani actually focusing on the in between chapters is actually talking about what? She's talking about love, right? Bhakti itself is Radharani, which is what we read sometime back, right? Love, which is Ladini Shakti. Ladini Shakti talks about Radharani. So we keep thinking, but our acharyas have told that there is lot of things which are there. The 12th chapter, which I told is important, also talks about Radharani. How this 4 qualities we were talking about, how one should be. She's always talking about 100 times, 100% of her time focusing on Krishna without fear. That is a relationship. That is why there is slokas in 12th chapter which says Advesha Sarva Bhutana Maitrekavana Evacha Nirmamo Nirahankara Sama Sukha Sami. What does it mean? Advesha means without envy. Sarva Bhutanam, all the people, all of them she thinks equally. Maitri Karuna Evacha, Karuna, right? Like a friend, she shows compassion. It is there in Arjuna also, but she also shows compassion. Karuna Evacha, Nirmamo, no sense of proprietorship. Nirahankara, she does not have. Sama, Dukkha, Sukha, Sami means she thinks equally in good or bad. These are the qualities which Krishna says is very close to me. But these are the qualities which are already possessed by the pure devotee. Indirectly, he is positioning Bhakti, right? Okay, now you will tell, okay, Mataji, there are 26 qualities of Radharani which are explained, of which 12 qualities are clearly mentioned in chapter 12, if we go in and see. Now let's go to another most favorite, what is our most favorite shloka in Bhagavad Gita? All of us. You wake us in the middle of the night also, we will tell this shloka. We won't follow, but we will tell.
933, 934. Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakta. That is
that
my
is okay.
favorite.
That is there. But the ultimate final shloka of Krishna.
Yeah, 1866.
What is that shloka?
Sarvadharman
Parityagya. Parityagya. Yeah.
Complete.
Mamekam Sharanam Raja.
Sharana?
Sharanam Tvam Sarva Papebhyo.
Raja.
Mamekam Saranam Raja.
Vraja. Exactly.
Raja.
So our senior people have said that it is not directly told, but very clearly, Sarva Dharmam Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. So,
Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishyami Ma Suchaha.
So basically, Krishna has only 2 categories. Within Raja, outside Raja. Within Raja, he removes his, his crown, kirit, and keeps outside and walks in like a coward boy. Which is why Sarva Dharma Parityaja, which they all did. Mamekam, only onto me, Sharanam, right? Vraja. That means you are actually going to be inside Vraja. So that is why even Prabhupada said that whenever I am with the company of devotees, I am in Vraja. So he is also telling Vraja, he is connecting Vraja so much. That means the Krishna who is inside Vraja is only our Krishna, who is our Goloka Vrindavan Krishna. Outside of Vraja is Vasudeva Krishna, son of Vasudeva, who is the different Krishna, who is also there in the heart, right? Like Paramatma, all of that, right? Variation. But the actual 200 form of Krishna is what? Which is why many of them have a version. In Sri Sampradaya also they tell, no, Krishna showed the 400 form. Only in the what? Does not matter. Basically, when he's taking class, he will show 4 and 2 amp, which is not relevant. But what is relevant? If you see the end of the final chapter, Arjuna is telling boss, okay, enough of Vishwarupam, 11th chapter. Show me your 400 form as well as your 200 form. Come back to your regular form. I need your 200 form. Why? Because they want to relate to the lovable form of Krishna, which means that you want to target the heart. As the Brahma Gaudiya Sampradaya, what is our target? All Vaishyas want Krishna, there is no doubt. But for us, we want to take his place in the core of the heart. We are all Radha Anukas, right? We are all Anukas, we are followers, right? Raga Anukas. Why we are Raga Anukas? Because we want to get Rupa Anugas. Why? Because we want to follow the footstep of Rupa Goswami. Our Acharyas, especially our Madhavendra Puri, all of them have given the loving relationship with Krishna. So our focus is to love Krishna. Our focus is not awe and reverence. We are not having fear for Krishna. We want to develop love, taste for Krishna, which is why Bhagavad Gita, when we read again and again, we get the taste, interest. Why you are sitting 2 hours straight in the class? Because you are developing taste. So Bhagavatam talks about Bhagavan, Bhakta and Bhakti. And that Bhakti is very clearly is explained. And what Bhakti she is talking about is Braja Bhakti, which means that indirectly he is talking about come to me, right? I will take care. Whichever form you come, even as a normal person, he will take care. But the fact which Krishna is adoring is that Braja Bhakti, and that is the Bhakti which we are targeting and we are going forward. Also, all these, we have enough of the first few chapters where we have read, and now going straight away, he's got many names, right? Shriyapati, husband of Shri, which means owner of opulences, right? Next one is Prajapati. He's a leader of all the Prajas, which means Satvatampati, right? For all the devotees. Diyampati, intelligence, right? We saw that Sarvasya Chaham Vidhi Sannivisto Matta Smriti Jnanam Apohanam Se Vedesha Sarve Ahameva Vedyo Vedanta Krit Veda Videva Chaham. He is a knower in all Vedas. He is the one who wrote the Vedas. He is a compiler of Veda. And he is a proprietor, Lokapati, right? He is a proprietor. Which is why we are talking in Isho Upanishad, Isha Vashanidam Sarvam Yatkincha Jagatyam Jagat Tena Tiktena Bunjita Magridha Kashas Viddanam, which means he is the proprietor. Remember that. We are thinking we are the proprietor. No. Right? And many of them have this argument. Many of them, Shri only is the wife. Right? I think there was a speaker also by a Christian name. I don't want to quote his name, who tells that people are not focusing on Bhudevi, focusing on Sri Devi. Is that relevant? They don't have conflicts. We should not be creating conflicts. Sri Devi is whom? Sri Devi, Bhudevi are all Lakshmis, right? We are talking about Chintamani, Prakrasadma, Sukalpa, Riksha, Laksha, Viteshu, Surabhi, Avipalayantam, Lakshmi, Sahasra Sada Sambramya, Sevyamanam, Govindamadi Purusham, Tamam Bhajami. All the Shris, all the Lakshmis are serving him. And Lokapati, he is the proprietor of all the planets, not here. And he is the ultimate Gati. Right? We saw Savai Punshan Paro Dharmo Yato Bhakti Radokshaje. Ahituki Apratiyata Yata Yayatma Suprasidati. That is what it gives. Right? And that is the Paro Dharma. And Vasudeva Paro, if you see, there is also shloka in the first canto. It says Vasudeva Para Veda Vasudevo Para Kriya. Everything will come. All that Vasudeva Para Veda Vasudeva. First it starts with Veda only. Right? Vasudeva Para Veda Vasudeva Para Maka Vasudeva Para Yoga Vasudeva Para Kriya Vasudeva Paro Paro Jnanam Vasudeva Para Tapaha. Again Vasudeva Paro Dharmo Vasudeva Param Gati. It ends with that, which means Vasudeva is a Param Gati. He is the ultimate destination. Satvatam for Yadu, Vrishni. Right? And again, he is the leader of the Yadukula. And from there only we got Yadu. We saw also from where the names came. And Vrishni dynasty means entire Vrindavan. All of them come under the Vrishni dynasty. And that they are all not normal people. They are eternal servitors of Lord. So he is actually merciful on everybody. He is the supreme incarnation. We saw Varaha Avatar, all of that. So he is the Adi Deva, Adi Guru, everything. And that is what Krishna is trying to now offer obeisances. The difference basically in prayers, which is offering, if you see, today we were seeing a set of prayers, right? So if you see in the 11 to 18, there is a difference between that and the next set. In the 16th one, which we saw, he talks about when you surrender our past, present and future attachments, it gets relieved, right? Which is connecting to the first few slokas of Parikshit. Now the 17th one says that you dedicate everything only to his service, right? And by doing that, Sarvadharma, you're giving everything. What happens is you will get the results. What results? You will get his nature. And therefore, he is the shelter for all his pure devotees. Even if they were in the past sinful, it doesn't matter. And by dedicating, and finally what he is telling from 19 to 25, which we will see later, he says, by doing all that, may the Lord be pleased. Right? He is telling that Krishna, who is a super soul, he is the personification of all Vedas. Everything is confined in him. So that is what he's saying. So he is basically ultimate shelter, and he is someone who he will also conclude later by telling he is worshipped by Brahma, Shiva, everybody, which is what he is talking about. He is the Shripatis, Yagnapatis, Prajapatis, Diyampatis, Lokapatis, Dharapati, right? And he is the ultimate Gati. So this is what he is trying to highlight. So indirectly he is telling all of them, right? We are talking about who's the Ishvara. So many Ishwaras are there, but he is the ultimate Ishvara. He is the topmost. We are talking about first where Ishvara Paramakrishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradi Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. That is why we see to consider the names of chanting the holy names to be as potent as Brahma and Shiva is also considered as offense, because we should not think of him equal to Brahma or Shiva, because it's even more potential and even more powerful, and he is the ultimate Ishvara. With that, we will conclude our discussion today, and thank you so much for the patience. Sorry that this was a last moment information, and Prabhu will be coming, from next Sunday onwards. Vanchakalpatarabhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah anantakoti vaishnav jai Srila Prabhupada jai Namacharya Haridas Thakur jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Thank you to all of you all who read the shlokas, and thanks Prabhu for sharing this stream. Sorry for today, I could not prepare well. This was a sort of in the last moment. It's generally in the last moment, but this time I was not ready with these slokas pre-prepared. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone, and any doubt. Priyashni Mataji is not here. She asked a doubt about Jnana. I thought if she's there, I can tell. Hare Krishna, she's not there. Okay. Anybody else?
It was a wonderful session, Mataji.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Nice. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I want you all to wait for 2 minutes. We have 2 announcements. First announcement by me. Danishri ma'am, you can also share about the yatra here. First announcement, Bakthi Vaibhav, fast track starting from 1st December. I think it is Ekadasi. I'm not very sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. 8 to 9:30 fast track, Monday to Friday. Every day we will have Monday to Friday. We have minimum qualification is you should be completing, or you should have completed Bhakti Shastri. Some questions which you are asking, I will answer. Question number 1 is, can you participate in fast track as well as your regular Bhakti Vaibhav? Answer is yes. Second, do you need to have completed Bhakti Shastri? Yes. Now the third point is, can you just attend without listening? Listening without taking exam? Yes. But the Bhakti Vaibhav certificate will be issued only if you clear your exams. Now, who is the teacher for the fast track? There are multiple teachers who will be given.
Post that FAQs what we made, no?
Sorry?
FAQs we made it.
Yes, FAQ. Thank you. FAQs we have covered all of this, but I'm repeating it again. The registration link is shared. We will request you all automatically, please upload your certificate and this will get connected. As she said, Mataji very nicely, she's prepared the FAQs. We've circulated to the language leads. If there are any confusion or doubts, request to escalate to your respective language leaders. Because some of them have queries. I've not got my certificate at all. I think your leaders will be able to arrange for that. Yes, Prabhu, please go ahead.
Mataji, attendance.
Thank you, Prabhu. I will be posting very nice. This time
No, attendance, not this. Attendance link is posted.
I know. That's what I'm telling. Thanks for reminding me, because Rohini Mataji actually I'd remembered and asked Rohini Mataji, and she had sent it to me.
Posted.
It's already posted, Mataji. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the fast track course. What is the attendance required?
Attendance will be the same rules, Prabhu. Whatever is the Bhakti Vaibhav rules. Thanks for reminding me of the attendance. At least I'm clicking now. Same Bhakti Vaibhav rules will prevail. The only difference in Bhakti Vaibhav here is we are writing exam after every chapter. Over there, it will be as per the Mayapur. I think it's after first 9 chapters or 10 chapters. Refer to the circular. Once you join, we will be posting the circular in the group.
Okay.
After,
as I told, mine is actually comes in my working day. So that is what
I know. Unfortunately, we might have to.
But it's not something I was thinking about it seriously, how to go about the process.
Yeah,
okay?
I understand. I understand, but right now we are trying to accommodate whoever.
That is fine. That is fine. I'm not complaining or anything. You are doing this. That's more than enough. Yeah.
Sure.
But I will try to join, and then if I see if I going well with the attendance, then I'll continue. Otherwise, I will drop off. That could be a better option.
Sure. Hare Krishna. Danishi ma'am, can you unmute? You can probably share the screen for the yatra also. I'm keeping the live. You can share, ma'am.
I won't be able to share, I think.
Okay, I'll make you the course, but even otherwise, I've allowed shield scanning. You can do that. Yeah, no. Go ahead.
1 second.
Mataji, I will drop off then.
Sure, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank
This is the announcement about Yatra. So fast track, I think, is over. So we'll start about the Yatra. Fast track, December 1st. Request you all to register ASAP. Ma'am, Yatra, you can talk.
Thank you all for staying back to hear about the Yatra news. Okay. So Srirangam Yatra, which we have been planning for the more than a year, I think. Whenever I meet NND Prabhuji, or whenever I'm able to meet him, that time and all, we'll be speaking about Srirangam Yatra. This is related to 108 Divya Desams, like how we have Navadip, Mandal, all those things. That side, that is the north side of India. We have in south also 108 Divya Desams are there. In that 106 or in India itself, in that 82 Divya Desams are covered in Tamil Nadu only. Tamil Nadu itself. And if you are in Kerala, if you are in Andhra Pradesh, and if you are in Karnataka also. And the Srirangam is the first and foremost Divya Desam out of all 108. So 107 and 108 is Vaikunta and Goloka. So only 106 Divya Desams only we can take a Yatra. And if one takes all 106 Divya Desams, I think there is a saying that they will reach to Vaikunta. So that is also a saying there. So let us cover how many hours we are able to cover for the days which we have planned here. So 23rd February, the devotees who are planning for the Yatra should reach morning. It's expected from morning onwards. So those who are coming by train, I think they may be able to reach by morning, but for flight, I think it may take midday. So that day morning, we are not having any official Yatra, but those who are reaching in the morning, if they are able to plan for something, some nearby, that is Divya Desham, will be able to give you the list. So out of your own interest, I think you can make a, that is you can go and have a darshan of the Lord, and then afternoon prasadam will be there. Take rest for some time, and evening orientation program along with some cultural programs will be there. So pravachan also will be there. With that, the first day of Yatra, 23rd, will be done. That is reaching out, that is reaching to the Yatra place. So who are coming by train, they have to take a train ticket to Tiruchirappalli junction. Those who are coming by flight to the Trichy airport actually. So that's that is the arrival thing. And 24th morning, early morning, we have a darshan of Srirangam. That is around 4:30. It will be entire group of all devotees will be at one shot. Actually, we are taking the permission. So taking darshan of the Lord, and then inside more pragaras are there, and then Andal Rangamannar. So and Garudarvar, Chakratarvar, that is Sudarshan Chakra, the personified deity form of Sudarshan, and Garuda also there. So many deity locations are there inside the temple. It's a big prakara. And at the end of it will take at least minimum 3 hours to have a one round of darshan of the entire temple. And then end we will be going to the Sri Ramanujacharya's Jiv Samadhi there, and then the Sankirtan will be done there. The devotees will be, and on completion of the Sankirtan, we'll have a prasadam at ISKCON Srirangam. Okay, so it is very near to the temple, and then we'll go to the Srirangam ISKCON, and all facilities, that is prasadam facilities are made there. And on post that is morning breakfast, we'll be leaving to other Divya Desham. It is not listed out, and out of that, whichever it has been confirmed is we are going to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mat actually there. So that is mandatory thing, which is already pipeline. On completion of that, afternoon we'll be coming back to Srirangam ISKCON, and we'll have prasad in the afternoon and have 2 hours of rest kind of thing. And evening, that is 23rd, 24th, 25, and 26. All 4 days we'll have either satsang and or drama or Sankirtan. Either one, both combinations, or whichever it will be planned, it will be. The itinerary will be shared accordingly. It will be. done. And 24th, on completion of 24th, the Srirangam Yatra, 25th morning, we are leaving to Kumbakonam. So from Srirangam to Kumbakonam, in between there is Tanjavur. Tanjavur, we are Tanjavur. We have some 1 or 2 Divyadeshams that also will be covered. On the way, we'll have a darshan of the Lord, and then we'll reach Kumbakonam. And in Kumbakonam, we are going to stay for 2 days. So 11 Divyadeshams we are planning. Actually, the details of the particular Divyadesham, it is yet to be known to me. So it is in the process of, that is, what is that? It is planning, the process of planning. So whichever way we are going and which are the temples we can cover, it is yet to be finalized. That's the reason I don't have the data now currently, but maybe in another week we'll have the data. What are the Divyadeshams, 11 Divyadeshams we'll be covering in Kumbakonam actually. So all post-lunch sessions will not, that is after post-lunch we'll have rest, and then we'll have the good sadhu sangha, and by the senior devotees we'll have a pravachan, all those things. And 26th evening, that is after dinner prasadam, we'll be leaving to Rameshwaram, either by train or by bus. So we are planning for train only by booking a coach itself. If something is not happening in that expected way, we'll be taking a easy bus sleeper coach, and then it is a 6-hour journey to from Kumbakonam to Rameshwaram night, and early morning we'll reach there. So reaching to the respective hotels, all hotel details will be shared prior to your departure from your home. So that is what are the lodges we have booked in Kumbakonam. Kumbakonam is only one lodge, that is a very big, only one facility. All 200 devotees will be staying there only. And Srirangam, we have multiple facilities. In Rameshwaram, 2 facilities actually. Okay. So still in the finalization phase. That's the reason I'm not giving the exact lodging details. Maybe in a week we'll get the list of hotels, and then accordingly it will be planned. Once the closure of the registration, I think we'll be able to assign it, and then these hotels, these devotees we are going to. And there is only one slab of registration, that is 13,000 only. There are no differences in that. There are like earlier yatras we used to have, no, like 15 or 14, whatever. It is not like that. This time only 13,000. And in Rameshwaram, morning we'll have a that is 21 wells. There are auspicious wells. From there the water will be poured, and then there are 3 other austere lakes actually. From where also they will be pouring the water. On completion of that, after changing the dress, we will be going to take the darshan of Lord Shiva, and then after darshan of Lord Shiva, we'll be having prasadam there. It will be arranged by, I think, Namahata. I think in Rameshwaram we don't have ISKCON temple. In both Srirangam and Kumbakonam we have ISKCON temple, and then prasadam being prepared by our ISKCON devotees only, and we also can go and do some services if time permits there. Okay, so that's how it is planned. And the serving team will be, that is, every language has taken some seva. So in that, Telugu team has opted for prasadam seva actually. And in all teams, our Tamil devotees will be there to assist because of the local language thing. And evening, that is after morning breakfast, we are going to Dhanushkodi and one more Divyadesham. I am not exactly confirmed. That as per the earlier plan, it was Tirupullani. Okay, so now I am yet to get the confirmation on that. So having the darshan at Dhanushkodi and all those things, we'll be coming back to the Namhata place, and then have afternoon prasad, and then go to the hotels, get packed for the evening departure. Okay, as per your bookings. So we are leaving, the yatra completion takes at Rameshwaram, and we have to book the train from Rameshwaram. Flight means we have to take either travels or any train also. Book the train from Rameshwaram to Madurai, and then from Madurai you can book the flight to wherever destination you are. You have to book the tickets. So this is the one flow of the travel plan and then how the program is being made. So any other doubts, you can reach out to me or to Gaurav Goyal Prabhuji or Shivasang Prabhuji. Only those 3 numbers has been given in this flyer. The first one is my number. Second one is Gaurav Goyal Prabhuji, and then Sridhar Prabhuji's number is here. Okay. Any other doubts or anything I missed up? I think Radhika Mataji, please add it.
No, ma'am, I think good.
Okay, fine.
Very clear.
We'll give the PPT also on whichever stalas we are going to take a darshan with some history of that particular Divya Desam. Because once confirmation is done, we will be sharing in the group section. So you can have a visit and then have the information about that particular stala. And then when you go there, I think you can have a more, that is with more reverence, you can have the darshan of the Lord. Okay. Hare Krishna. So please start booking because another 8 days are only there. The booking is open, registration is open. So I humbly request all the devotees to take part in this yatra and then have a blissful yatra actually. And this time we are having many arrangements in a very systematic way. We are planning for that. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I think any doubts you all can ask her. Thank you so much, ma'am, for explaining. Any doubts? Okay. If there are none, I'll end the meeting. Hare Krishna. So we'll meet again next week. And regarding the exam and re-exams, we'll keep you informed. As of now, first fast track, whoever are preparing, request to read at least the first chapter 1.1.1 and come. Hare Krishna, everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mata.